Hi everyone, and welcome to our Module 1 tutorial or instructional video. This video is intended to give you a basic overview of your Module 1 and kind of point you to the key resources that you're going to need in order to complete your innovative digital citizenship lesson plan based on the ISTE standards and the ISTE template that I provided with you. So you first want to start by logging into your Blackboard, of course. And what I've done is I've created a module for you, just like your Getting Started module. This is your Module 1, and this is where you'll begin. So as we talked about, your start here, that was your Getting Started module. Underneath that, that's where I'm going to put the rest of your modules. And they're each going to be in a folder similar to this one. So here's your first one, and then as we progress through the course, I'll add your other modules underneath this. And but here's your first one to get started. So you're going to click on that, and then you have your table of contents like you did in Getting Started module. And really it's designed, I intentionally organized it so that you can just really start at the top here at number 1 and then go to Roman numeral 2 and just really work your way down, including all of the sublinks underneath here. And that is described in this little instructional sheet that I've created for you and will share with you. So after step number 1, you're going to click on, and that little greater than symbol means to click on, which is notated down here. You're going to open, thoroughly review the top resource link and the table of contents, and then you're going to do the same thing on every other one in order going down the list. So you're just going to start at the very top, click every link, read it, review it, take whatever notes, maybe highlight the key parts. And your ultimate goal is to complete your ISTE lesson plan template by using the provided rubrics, content, and format samples. So all this information in here, the goal is for you to complete that one ISTE lesson plan template that I provide for you, and I'll show you that as well. Actually, I'll just go ahead and show you that now. Here's the completed sample that I created for you. Let me go back there. So here's the sample, and I just did it very basic lesson plan based on digital citizenship for you, and then here's the blank one. So those are in these resources for you. Your ultimate goal is to complete this. You can go ahead and leave in these instructions here to help guide you, but here is all the content that you are going to have, or that I've given you in order to help you do that. So let's just go ahead and start. So starting with Roman numeral 2, because we're already in Roman numeral 1, what I want you to do is go ahead and click all of these resources. So you have 3 folders, or 2 folders, and then your blank ISTE lesson plan template, but start at the top. So here are some completed lesson plan samples that I wanted you to see that I thought would be helpful. Here's mine, that when you click on it, it will download, and then you can just open it, and here's what it looks like. So please review that. All of this texting in here in the boxes is my content that I added for you. Okay, and I do give you a little bit of instructions as well. So that's that link right there. And then you have ISTE lesson plan, a sample website that gives you some more information. Review that. This is very comprehensive and has a lot more technology ideas as well. Okay. So here's some extra resources for you. Go ahead and look through that information. And then also here's 3 sample lesson plans from last semester. Now these top 2 are not based on digital citizenship, but they are great lesson plans. They're very well designed, very comprehensive, and go ahead and read through those. Sherry does a great job at differentiating for different types of learners. So, so please look through those, and it'll give you some great samples of how to fill out your own lesson plan. And this is a typo here. Stacy's is actually on digital citizenship, so you'll like that as well. All right. So you're going to go through all those, review it pretty well. It shouldn't take you probably more than 10-15 minutes to complete that. Okay. And then here's your standards for lesson planning. You can open these standards. Typically, I believe all of you are in Oklahoma, so you're going to go with the Oklahoma Pass standards. And I did have some students in Texas last semester, so they use the TEKS, I think is what they call them. Here's your M1ISTE NETs for students, and here's your in-task core teaching standards. These are the two main ones that I reference your lessons to in this class, and you also have the Oklahoma Pass for K-12. So the way that you would do that is you would open up your lesson or your standards and pick out what grade you're going to be working on, and we can talk more about that later. Generally going to do information literacy or instructional technologies. And here are, and then it maps back to the ISTE lesson plans. Now there are some technical standards. I just picked this one randomly. But there are technical standards throughout the lessons too, but they do refer back to our ISTE standards. So if you can find other content standards, here's some extra ones for the past standards that map onto your lesson as well as from the ISTE, go ahead and put those in. Maybe there's some cultural and social and economic issues of technology. Okay, so this is very good. I'm actually going to save that. I'll come back to that later. Okay, so there's your standards, and typically the way you use standards, hopefully you've reviewed this in your other courses as well, but you typically start with the grade level you're going to be working on or the subject, and then you think about the type of lesson you're going to be doing. And here's some different, maybe secondary math. And you should have your standards in here. Let's go to the math home. This is just their SDE website for math. Okay, and your past skills should be in there. Sorry, let me get back there. Let's try and determine now. Let's see. Oh, you want to click on just the science, not the science page. So let's go to this link and it should bring, okay, there we go. So you click on just the topic, not the page. Okay. All right. So there's your standards. ISTE NETs, again, you just pick the one that most closely correlates. We'll pull that up too. And digital citizenship, I believe, is there we go, number 5. So any one of these standards, you can just pick one or two. You typically don't want to pick one or two, more than one or two standards to focus on. Okay. All right, so there's your Roman or your lowercase number 2, and then going to Roman numeral 3. Speaking of digital citizenship, because this is going to be your main content area that you're teaching. The ISTE lesson plan template is the format. This is the content, okay? So think of the ISTE lesson plan template like the house, and this is all the stuff that goes in the house. And so I created a PowerPoint for you on that, and that is loading. And here it actually is. So we'll go through this PowerPoint real quick for you as well. All right, so this is our Module 1, Digital Citizenship, and you have the other content areas or the other items that I want you to focus on, such as the samples and the templates and all that. This is the presentation just on that digital citizenship content. Okay. Excuse me. So introducing why is digital citizenship important, connecting the what of digital citizenship. I'm going to give you some resources, and then we also have specific content for your lesson plan. Okay. So I just learned about another new resource on digital citizenship. There's a lot out there. They also call it media literacy or web literacy. Um, so I just picked the resources that I thought were most user-friendly, comprehensive, engaging for you and your future students. And I really like this Common Sense Media website and resources here. So why is digital citizenship needed? I'll need to fix that. Here is what it encompasses for sure. There's an overall chart. So go ahead and go to this link, and then it'll open that website, and so you can operate fully in here. Here's the digital citizenship tab. Notice they have iBook lessons, Nearpod lessons, just about everything that you need for teaching digital citizenship, which is one of the most important topics for technology use in schools right now in general. It's a real high need because everybody is getting the technology tools and equipment, but they don't know how to use it, and they don't know how to use it appropriately and protect themselves with all these new capabilities. So here's a bunch of different lessons. There's toolkits and posters and all of that for you. This is one of my favorite graphics right here, which is it maps the digital citizenship curriculum to what should be covered and when. So for K-2, you have you would focus on units 1 and 2 for internet safety. So it gives you the topic. So if you're teaching K-2, here are the different units that you want to teach in the curriculum that they provide for you. This is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I think schools should just take this and give it to the technology teacher or the teacher and say, here, make sure that the students cover this. By the time they leave 2nd grade, 5th grade, they should cover all these by 8th grade. And of course, you're doing it at a different level. You have internet and safety, privacy and security, relationships and communication, cyberbullying, everything you need to know. And they have the lessons to go with this. It's fabulous. I would put this up in my classroom and give it out to parents. I will definitely be using this. So it's organized by units here, grade level. So say you want 3rd through 5th grade. And let's see, in internet safety for 3rd through 5th grade, they need to do units 1 and 3. So for my 3rd through 5th graders, they would be doing units 1 here, all of these lessons. It even maps it right here back to these content areas. And they would also be doing unit 3, talking safely online, all of this, okay? So it gives you assessments and also ways to engage families. You can have a parent night on digital citizenship. So you've got everything you need right here mapped totally for you. A fabulous, fabulous resource. I have friends that write for Common Sense Media, so great. I point you to that. You can also learn more. You can also do a full certification in digital citizenship training through Common Sense Media, kind of like a Google certification, and I highly recommend you do that. I'm going to potentially look at that for my future classes. So that's kind of the what and overall of it. And then here's the why. Why is it needed? This is a different resource, one of my other favorite resources that I like. The librarian Miles included it on our LibGuide. And it gives you a little bit of why the digital citizenship is needed. And I told you a little bit earlier, we are getting all these connected devices with access to tons of information and capabilities. But our folks, especially in rural and remote areas, don't really know, A, how to fully use it, and B, how to protect themselves while using it. So that's kind of the goal, and it's summarized here as well. Gives you a background of this portal. Here's all the federal agencies, and looks like some nonprofit agencies that contributed to this. But it's digitalliteracy.gov. It's a great website, great tools, and it's supposed to be a valuable resource to practitioners, that would be you as a future teacher, who are delivering digital literacy training and services to their community. There's also a jobs component, a workforce component here to help them train and capacity build skills in order to get jobs and serve in the workforce. So this is a great resource. So that's why it's needed. Not only how to protect themselves online, but this one also encompasses, okay, how to fully maximize their use of their connectivity to get and maintain jobs and careers. So takes it a little step further. So here's a little bit more. I want you to peruse through these websites. Here's the link, digitalliteracy.gov. You can click on that, go there, and just pick 3 to 5 of these resources below. You can go to basic computer skills, Microsoft digital literacy courses. There's a bunch here. Maybe here's one, broadband literacy and Menominee Nation. That would be relevant. So pick 3 to 5 and really go to dive into them. Maybe do a topical review first and then pick 3 to 5 to dive into and really kind of get some content and see if there's anything that you would like to do your lesson plan about. Here are some other specific resources. So when you click on Find Educator Tools, it takes you to here. So what are digital literacy skills you're looking for? You can pick the skills, you can pick a subject area, mobile, wireless, job force skills, social media, or you can do an other search. So this is this one or this one or this one. So you can click and then search. So try a few, kind of browse around, see what you find, see if there's one of these that you would like to do your lesson plan on. You're just choosing one skill, one area, maybe email even, or basic computing, that you would like to do your lesson plan on, one skill. Okay, and you're mapping it to 2 or 3 standards. All right, so back to Common Sense Media. Again, visit this website, Digital Citizenship. If you click up here at this, you'll see these websites and these resources. Here's some videos here at the bottom to watch, lessons in action. So again, peruse through these, visit the different links, and then choose one of these digital citizenship strands or concepts to base your lesson plan on, and then really dive into those resources for that one strand or concept. Okay, and then here's also the curriculum. Again, kind of peruse around, get familiar with this specific site, these specific pages, and then choose one to design your lesson plan around. Okay, so you're looking for one specific content area out of all these sites and resources. I'm kind of giving you a topical overview of all the different items involved in digital citizenship because there's a lot, but you just pick one to focus on. Here's some other lessons for you. Copyrights and wrongs, super digital citizenship, email etiquette. You can do your whole lesson plan on email etiquette. So again, peruse around, watch, view several of these, and then pick one. Okay, and if you can map it onto one that you've already liked, then go ahead and do that. Here's some toolkits already ready to go. So there's all the resources for you. Several lesson plans included in there. Here's one on E-rate. That's kind of the funding that goes in to provide low-cost broadband connectivity for schools. Probably aren't going to do that, but maybe you would do the cyberbullying toolkit or the gender and digital life toolkit. So you can look at those and see what's in the toolkit. This is a great experience for you to get your feet wet in this topic. And you can also look at these other resources here too. Nearpod is a innovative learning tool that you can use. iBooks are innovative learning for sure. And so look at those and see if, just kind of get familiar with those different topics. And again, your goal out of all this is just to pick one topic to focus your lesson on. Okay. And then reflecting, think about 2 to 3 specific instances where K-12 students will need digital citizenship skills for their personal, professional, and academic lives. And number 2, does K-12 schools have special digital citizenship needs? Why or not? Okay, and then reflecting. So what one digital citizenship topic or strand will you focus your M1ISTE Innovative Lesson Plan on? So what's your one area that you're really going to focus on, the one topic from all that's available with digital citizenship? Okay, so that's your presentation. And going back to our Blackboard, because that was just one of the resources so in our Blackboard, you're going back to your, I believe that's the same thing. Okay, we can go to Roman numeral 4. And in there you have your innovative learning resources. And there are lots of digital literacy here too. You can go ahead and look through those different resources for you. Here's your digital literacy skills checklist. I included digitalliteracy.gov for you. So here's a bunch of resources for you. And so this is something that you're welcome to use as some sort of assessment within your lesson plan as well. But go ahead and look through all of these different resources that the librarian has provided for you. And then the last thing in this packet here is this is where you'll click to submit your final lesson plan for grading. So you'll use that when you're finally done, and I will grade it and turn it back to you with your rubric. Okay. So the other, going back to the lesson plan, I just want to walk you through this really quickly and kind of show you what I would like to see. I am actually, I think, going to walk you through Cherie's. I really like how comprehensive she was with her differentiation. So fill out the top portion here. You have your name, pre-service teacher, school district, all of that. Standards. You're certainly going to list your M1ISTE standards. That's the technical one. That could be the cyber secure, the cyber safety one, digital literacy one, number 5. And then you also map it to an Oklahoma PASS standard. You saw the technology ones, just so that they're correlated to both. And then you're going to give an overview. And an overview, the best way that I found to do overviews is you're going to have one sentence to a half sentence telling me or giving me a brief introduction to each one of these. So you're going to tell me a brief introduction over your essential questions, your assessment, and let's see. All these pop-ups going. Okay, so you're going to have a brief introduction and just lightly cover your essential questions, your assessment, your resources, your instructional plan, your management. So summarize that into a very brief, basically what your students are going to do, how, when, and where, how it will be assessed in one very brief paragraph. And here I say half a sentence to one sentence covering each one of the bolded headings from throughout the lesson. And then your essential questions. What 3 questions are your students going to be able to answer from all of their work throughout this lesson by the time they're finished? Okay. And then assessment. How are your students going to be assessed? What product are they going to create, and how will you grade that product? Think about the rubrics that I've given you. Okay. And then differentiate. How are you going to provide different opportunities for students with different needs to complete this lesson? Resources. What resources are you going to provide Blackboard in order to help you be successful? So what are you going to provide your students to be successful in this class? Okay. And going back. Okay, and then instructional plan. How are you going to prepare your students in order to complete this lesson? How are you going to build in that previous experience that they may or may not have in order to help them be successful? For example, I've provided you with completed samples of lesson plans, of a template website that has similar. So I've given you what the finished product would look like, maybe some mid-level products, and and really, hopefully, fully preparing you to create this lesson plan. So, and then management. How are your students going to work with in the classroom, outside of the classroom? Are they going to be in a lab? Are they going to be in a connected lab with internet? How are you going to manage the students and the resources in order to provide them ample opportunity to create their product? Teacher preparation. How are you going to prepare, again, the students for the information? And let me just go down. Instructional activities. What are you going to do with the students? I'm doing several things with you in order to get you prepared. We're making a video. I've created a module for all of the resources and activities for you. I'm going to offer a synchronous live webinar. We can log in and meet together in order to do your work. So what are the students going to actually have to do and complete in order to be successful in that work, in the project? Again, a little bit of differentiation. How are you going to meet the needs of English language learners, students with different learning needs, etc.? Okay. And then closure and reflection. How are you going to get the students to reflect on what they learned? How are you going to close out this lesson? How are they going to know it's ending? And then you can move on to the next one. So you all are going to complete your work. You're going to upload it to our Blackboard assignments tab, and then you're going to write a reflection for your artifact to go into your chalk and wire. So I hope that helps. That's pretty much it. I would definitely start, again, let me reiterate, start at the top, review, read through, review, take notes. Your goal is to choose a content topic within digital citizenship, cyberbullying, email etiquette, any of those things that you see on Common Sense Media or digitalliteracy.gov. Pick one strand, one topic. And then your goal is, at the end, you have this one template that looks like this when it's completed. It's blank here, but you're going to go through and use the samples I gave you as a model and complete yours on digital citizenship. Okay? So by the time you work through all this, you should be ready. I trust that you all are going to do well. I have complete faith. If you have any questions or concerns, please post them in the Blackboard help section. You can also email me, but also I would prefer you share them in the Blackboard so other students get the benefit of your sharing. And then I'm here and I'm happy to work with you. Okay? Thank you very much and good luck, and I look forward to your work products. Good night.